Right, hi guys, and welcome back to the Moaning Yorkshireman, and welcome back to the chair. I'm here once again, sat in it. This is going to be a rant, and it's going to be events, but I don't expect it to be funny, so please don't think that you're going to get some sort of humour here if you're a regular viewer of my ranting. This is ridiculous, to be honest with you. I am currently ranting, and you've already seen the title, the 24 race calendar that's been announced from the FIA today. A 24 race calendar with 5 back-to-backs, 2 triple headers, and a finale of last 2 race weekends that are back-to-back that are just unfathomable. Like, don't even take the rest of the calendar into consideration. You're going from Las Vegas to Abu Dhabi within a week. Are we really, really, really just trying our best to kill people? Because this is what's going to happen. Unless you implement a 2-team system where you have half mechanics doing 12 races, the other half doing the other 12, someone's going to die now, and it's not even funny. This is not good. This is not good at all. I mean, I'm not even taking into consideration all this, net zero 2030, we're Formula 1, we're the FIA, all our carbon emissions will just blow away and disappear because we're a big believer in climate change. Are you really? How many more tyres are you going to need for these extra races? How many more flights are you going to have to do for these extra races? How much more damage is going to be caused to the cars? How much more pollution in general is going to be caused by teams, mechanics, flying to and from the circuits, setting up these new race circuits as well, like Las Vegas this year? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? It is all just absolutely ridiculous. We cannot have this. The trouble is now that the teams are strained as it is with a budget cap, which, I mean, is a ridiculous amount of money that no one else is going to have in the world, but the teams have got the budget caps. They're now going to have to budget more for the racing because there's more races on the calendar. So they're going to account for more damage in the damage pot. They're going to allow for more travel in the travel pot. They're not going to allocate any more money towards the mechanics that are doing this either. They're not going to allocate, we need to double as team up now. We need to double up the facilities and the management and the engineers and the staff because they can't be asked to do 24 races. No, they're going to be expected to do 24 races because, unfortunately, they're the bottom of the pecking order. They're the last to be thought about in this. They really, really are. It is an absolute joke. So we're going to have to put more money aside from the budget to go towards all the extra travel expenses, the damage that's going to be incurred at the race weekends, at the hotels, flights, everything. And the little mechanics are not going to even get a thought about, and they're just going to be expected to do it. I can imagine a lot of people have already looked at that calendar and have just feel exhausted purely based on looking at it, let alone before doing it. I mean, that final race weekend, Las Vegas to Abu Dhabi, they're a week apart. There's an 11-hour time difference between Las Vegas and Abu Dhabi before you even start. There's then a 19.5-hour flight with a stop in the between to get from Las Vegas to Abu Dhabi. You're going to land there in Abu Dhabi on the evening of whatever day it'll probably end up being, a Tuesday, by the time you get there. You are going to be there. The cargo's going to be sat there waiting for you. The cars are going to be in bits. You're going to be expected to rock up at that circuit and build. No matter what time you think it is in your head, because you're that lost in it all. Because you like the time zones, the massive jet lag you're going to have. It is going to be ridiculous. And then you're going to be expected to build a race car back up, ready to go for Friday. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. It really is. Something's got to change, and the only way you're going to change it is if you're not going to put less races in, if you're going to take races out, which obviously you're not, because money, are you? You know, FIA are going to go, look at all this money we're raking in. Formula 1, look at all this money we're raking in. Isn't it fantastic? Yeah, unfortunately, the only way you're going to stop it is that you introduce a 2-team system now within every team. So every car has 2 sets of mechanics. One does 12, the other half does 12. Share it between you, so the double headers don't exist for the mechanics because you've got one and then another team come in for the next one. You know, you've got everyone though. It's not just the mechanics. You've got the hospitality people, the people that build the houses, the big massive, I mean they're called motorhomes, but they're not, they're just houses that they build in the paddock. You've got those guys travelling around the world, building them up weeks before they even race there because that's how long they take to prepare. You've got the chefs, you've got the engineers, you've got the people that do the tyres, you've even got the people that just make cups of tea in the hospitality. They're all going to be exhausted, and for what? A few extra races at shit circuits that no one asked for in countries that no one deserves to even have a race. Like, what are we expecting? It is going to take, it is seriously, I honestly believe now it's going to take an accident to happen next season. And I'm not saying that sport and all sports are tough, and yeah, I know the drivers have got to do 24 races as well, but they will literally just wave everyone off after a debrief at the end of a race. Right, see you guys, see you next week, or see you whenever. Jump on a private jet, fuck off straight home. Like, they don't work in between. Yeah, they might have some PR bullshit, they might have some sponsor bullshit, whatever. They might even have a work week of doing fucking paperwork or like simulator or some shit. But it's not an exhausting job, is it? Let's be honest. You've got mechanics there that are trying to build cars to the best of their ability, to engineer cars, to keep the cars going. You know, I mean, it could even lead to be the fact that these mechanics are so tired, they make a mistake not tightening a wheel up, a wheel comes off, flies off into the crowd, kills a spectator, kills a marshal, kills another driver. Then what? You know, it's not just the mechanics themselves that this affects, it could kill anyone. And it is just ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, I'm speaking, like, mildly from a motorsport perspective. For those of you that didn't know, I was in motorsport at the age of 17. The championship that I was in was like 5-6 tiers below Formula 1. And even I got that exhausted after a triple header race weekend at Spa. So we did 3 different championships back to back at Spa. I ended up falling asleep behind the wheel of the works van coming home and ended up underneath a lorry. I was that tired that the lorry driver that I'd just ploughed into the back of woke me up. I was that asleep. I don't have any recollection of the impact because I was asleep. And the only reason why I'm alive is because I was asleep. My body went with the impact, the collision. The dashboard went here. The steering wheel was down, pinned me in down to my leg. Everyone thought I was dead, and it was the only fact that I didn't tense up was the only reason I'm still here. This is 6 tiers below, you know. And yeah, I was young, I was stupid, you know. I should have pulled over, I should have stopped, I should have known I was tired. I'd not slept in over a day because we were changing engines, fixing damage the race weekend before. I'd got parts in the back of the van that were broken, that the drivers had crashed, that I desperately needed to get back to the carbon fibre repair place, get them repaired, get them back out there ready for the next race weekend. You know, like, all this is going on in your head and you do think you're invincible. I thought I was invincible at the time. I think it was 20 when I crashed. Yeah, about 20, 21, something like that. And in the end, like, I just... That was a massive wake-up call for me and a massive wake-up call for the team as well. Like, obviously nothing like that had ever happened before, and it was a big wake-up to the paddock as well, because a lot of people just genuinely thought that I was not going to see another race weekend. It was that bad of an accident. Yeah, unbelievable. And I'm not trying to make this about me, of course, but, like, this is where it's coming from. I have crashed and nearly died as a result of motorsport, and this is someone that's single, still living at home, no girlfriend, you know, no bills to pay, no mortgage, no car bills to pay. The only thing that I had in my life during motorsport was myself, my car to tax, insure and fill up with petrol, and a phone bill of about £10 a month. That's all I had for outgoing. So, you know, can you imagine what the strain must be like on these families that have got, you know, kids, they're married, they want to spend time at home. You know, I know they're getting all this money. I know they're getting like £60,000-70,000 a year to be a mechanic. You know, bit more if you're an engineer. But you cannot be expected the amount of strain that this is going to put on people's lives. Because these mechanics don't just mechanic at a race weekend. They'll box that car up, pack it away, put it in the back of the truck, put it into the container ready to be shipped away for freight. They'll get back to the facility on Monday, Tuesday. The car will be sat there ready for them to start putting new bits on it, updates on it, to fix the damage. to do X, Y, Z to the car, and then it'll be packed up, loaded up, put back in the truck again. It's the same mechanics that do this. They have got no life at all. They've got 2 weeks off at Christmas for a New Year. They have 1 week off during the summer break, which is 4 weeks long. That's it. That is all they have. The rest of their life is away racing or recovering. Like, can you imagine coming back after that back-to-back Las Vegas, Abu Dhabi race weekend, flying straight back to the UK? You're probably going to sleep for 2 days, even though you're back home. And then you're going to be expected to go back to the workshop, unload, do everything. You're going to be starting working on next year's car. That'll already be underway. So if you're not doing this year's car, you're doing next year's. And that's now. Imagine that with a 24 race calendar on you. It is absolutely ridiculous. This can, if you are a genuine fan of Formula One, you will not be happy with this. I'm sorry, but you cannot be happy with this, because this is not what the sport needs. The sport needs a maximum of 20 races, but I think 18 is the absolute pinnacle. And if you're doing 24 races, you need 2 crews. I am sorry, you need 2 crews to work on a car and to do the hospitality and to do everything. You need 2 sets of teams. It is absolutely ridiculous, this. And I really do genuinely feel for the people in the sport, because sometimes, you know, it's all right if you're winning races, but even that doesn't cut the mustard at times. You know, getting on the podium, you still don't give a shit. Some of the times you really don't give a shit. We've been on the podium. I spent times on the podium. You know, there was the, you know, I think we've had a double podium once. Couldn't give a fuck. I was that knackered. We had spent all night fixing damage. We got a podium. Didn't even clap. I was that exhausted. So, you know, you can say there's good bits, you can say there's bad bits. I have some amazing memories to take away with me from motorsport. I've met some amazing people that I'm proud to call my friends. And it is a real family atmosphere. You turn up in a different circuit, in a different country each time, and it's the same people there. One big, massive community just there to help each other out. And that is absolutely phenomenal and fantastic. But no matter what that is, there is still the shit. And I always used to say it was 90% shit and 10% good. And the 10% did make up for the shit, but at what cost? At what cost is that 10% of good going to come to these drivers, these teams, these mechanics? It's just not acceptable. It really isn't. So there you are, guys. That was my sort of rant, moan, whatever you want to call it, about the current Formula One calendar that's been announced for 2023. Let me know your thoughts and feedback down below. Do you agree with it? Do you agree that it should be less? Do you think it should be more? Do you think there should be 2 teams per car now introduced with the way that the calendar is? Please let me know down below. I look forward to your comments. As always, I'll respond to them all. And yeah, no matter what your thoughts are, whether you think, you know, it's too many, not enough, you want to see more races, whatever your opinion are, just think about the little people in this sport that make such a massive difference, that are going to be seriously affected by this, not just in terms of the workload, but in terms of the family life, because no matter what you think, it has an impact on them. Thanks a lot for watching, guys, and as always, much love.